Welcome back, boys and girls. Today we will be moving on to multiplying by 5. So in this lesson we will learn how to multiply any number by 5. So I hope you all did your homework and you created my hundreds charts. So let's move on. We have a problem here. Miss Rain divided her class into 4 equal-sized groups. Each group needs 5 paint brushes. How many paint brushes are needed in all? So I will read it over and you can read it with me. Miss Rain divided her class into 4 equal-sized groups. Each group needs 5 paint brushes. How many paint brushes are needed in all? So how do you think we are going to try to find the answer for this? We have to create groups. So how many groups are there? There are 4 groups and each group now has 5 paint brushes. So I have my little trays. So this will represent group 1. This will represent group 2. This will represent group 3. And this will represent group 4. So I have my 4 groups. And each group has how many paint brushes? 5 paint brushes. So let's fill in our groups. So group 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Group 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The third group has 5 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our final group has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now my 4 groups, they have an equal amount of 5. So to find out how many paint brushes they need and all, we simply have to add. So let's try adding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is from group 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is from group 2. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is from group 3. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So when we add all the paint brushes in the 4 groups, we got 20 paint brushes. So there's another way we can represent this, and we can form an array. And I know we did array already. So what is an array? Yes, an array is how we represent number in equal groups. And to do an array, we have to remember our rows and our columns. So what will be our row? What will it be? It will be 4 rows and our column will be 5. So this is what it will look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have another 5. We have another 5. And we have our last group of 5. So we have 4 rows, but we have 5 columns. And who can remember what the row is? Yes, the row is left to right. And the column is top to bottom. So when we form this array, we have a number sentence of, who can remember the number sentence now? What comes first? What do we use first when we are multiplying, when we are using arrays? Yes, we use the rows first. So we have 4 rows and we are multiplying by, yes, 5 columns. So we have the 4 rows by 5 columns. And then when we add it all together, what we got? 20. So let's try and form this array, but we are counting now. So I will do it first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we have our 4 rows with our 5 columns. So we have a 4 by 5 array and our answer is 20. Now look at the counters carefully. You all will see there are some in red and some in yellow. So I want you to pay particular attention to those that are in red. So I will count and you will see which ones are in red. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th is in red. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the numbers 5, 10, 15, and 20, they are in red. So it will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now is where I want you to take out your hundreds chart that you created. We are going to color some numbers on this hundreds chart. So this is what our 100 chart will look like. We have 1 to 100 and we are just using our red numbers. So we are using 5, 10, 15, and 20. So where you see 5, I will put my 5 counter on the 5. But in your 100 chart, you will color it. So let's go. 5. So you color 5. Let's place our 10 where the 10 is supposed to be. 10, you will color 10. Let's move on. 15, you will now color 15. And 20, you will color 20. So we are starting to count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. You realize that we are starting to count in 5s. So let's look at our next question. In a gym class, there are 6 teams with 5 players on each team. So how many pupils are in the gym? So I will read it again. In a gym class, there are 6 teams with 5 players on each team. How many pupils are there in the gym? So let's do our groups again. How many groups are there? So we have 6 groups. So I have my first group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have my groups in front of me. And how much in each group? Yes, we have 5 in each group. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our first group is completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move on to the next group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 2 more groups to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our final group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our 6 groups of 5 players, our 6 teams with 5 players, and they want to know how many players are there in all. So we simply have to add. So let's start adding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our 5. Then we are going again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 2 more groups to go. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So let's count our counters now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Pay attention to the red. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So let's look at all our numbers in red. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So we're forming an array. So we have an array there. So we have our first row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rows with 5 counters in each row. And if you remember from rows and column, when we are making our multiplication sentence, which one will we put first? Yes, we will put our rows first. So we have our 6 rows multiplied by 5. And when we added them all together, we got 30. So let's form the array, and we are highlighting the red now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So we are going to highlight some more in our hundreds charts. Just remember, we have highlighted first already 5 to 20. So we have 25 and 30 to highlight. So where you see 25 on your numbers chart, you color it. And then when you see 30 on your numbers chart, you color it also. So our numbers chart will now look like this. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So we are counting in 5 already. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. I want you to look at these numbers carefully, because when I'm finished, I'm going to ask you some questions. Anaya sewed 8 dresses. Each dress has 5 buttons. How many buttons did she use? So let's create our groups. How many groups will I get? 8. And I will have 5 buttons in each group. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have my 8 groups, and these groups are now going to have 5 buttons each. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our last group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now our 8 groups, they all have our 5 buttons in them. So we can now add to see how many buttons we have in total. So let's try our first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our second 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now our third group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our fourth group of 5. 5th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 6th group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more groups to go. 7th group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our final group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our 8 dresses with 5 buttons each, and we created our array. So we have to add them together now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay attention to the red. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So when we added all of them together, we got 40. So we form an array. How many rows we have? Yes, we will have 8 rows, and each row will have 5 in it. We have 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have our 8 rows, and each row has 5 in it. So if I were to ask you all to write this as a multiplication sentence, which number we write in first? The rows, and it is 8 multiplied by 5. And when we added all of these together, we got 40. Now we are going to form an array highlighting our red numbers. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's look at and pay particular attention to the numbers in red. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and our last row, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So in our numbers chart, we have highlighted 5 to 30. So let's put in these two numbers. So now on your numbers chart, you are going to color in 35 and then 40. So it looks like this. Do you think you can finish your numbers chart up to 60 for me? Yeah? What is the next number I will highlight and you will color? Yes, it is 45. And what is the number after that you are going to color? Yes, that number you are going to color after is 50. Let's try the next number. We are stopping by 60. So let's try the next color that you are going to, the next number you are going to color. Yes, it is 55, and our last number is 60. So let's look at this as multiplication sentences. And this is when we multiply a number from 1 to 12 by 5. And this is like your times table. So the first one is 1 multiplied by 5, and you will get 5. Let's try the next one. 2 multiplied by 5 is, yes, it is 10. Third one, 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. One more. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20. We are going till we reach 12. 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. Our numbers are increasing by 5. 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. Just remember, our numbers are increasing by 5. 8 multiplied by 5 is 40. Let's move on to 9. 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. 10 multiplied by 5 is 50. 11 multiplied by 5 is 55. And our last multiplication sentence is 12 multiplied by 5 is 60. So let's look at the answers we get. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. What can you tell me about these numbers? The ending of the numbers. Yes, they either end in 5 or 0. So when you are multiplying a number by 5, that number will always end with either 5 or 0. If your number ends with any other number other than 5 or 0, you multiplied incorrectly. So we have to remember, when we are multiplying by 5, our numbers always end with either 5 or 0. And we did multiplying already. So let's see if we can multiply some numbers by 5 now using the steps we learned in the previous lesson. So we have 5 multiplied by 15, 15 multiplied by 5, and you know these steps. We put it, our tens column, our ones column. We write our numbers, 15, then we multiply by 5. So we just learned 15, our 5 time tables. So 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. And we remember from the last lesson, you can't write the 25 under the answer. We have to write it to the outside. We cross the 5. That 5 now goes. And then we multiply. 1 multiplied by 5. That's the second step we were doing. And 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. Am I going to write the 5 in the answer? Yes or no? No. Why? Because I still have my 2 tens on the outside. So 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. And when I add my 2 tens, I get 7. So my answer, when I multiply 15 by 5, I got 75. And I see 75 ends with a 5. So we know we do it correct. Because when you multiply by 5, the number either ends with a 0 or a 5. Let's try 17 by 5 now. So we will write it out. Tens, ones, 1, 7, 17 multiplied by 5. And we will multiply now. 7 multiplied by 5. If you look in your numbers hundreds chart, you will get it. So 7 multiplied by 5 is what? Yes, it is. It is 35. And this 35 is now written on the outside. It is not going in your answer. We did that in the last lesson. So we cross the 5 and we place it. And now we multiply the number under the tens, which is the 1, by the multiplier, which is 5. So 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. And now we add 3. And we will get 8. So 17 multiplied by 5 is 85. Last question. Put on your thinking caps for this one. Think carefully. 20 multiplied by 5. What is the answer? This is a big number. 20 multiplied by 5. Is it 98? Is it 101? Is it 99? And is it 100? And with this question, you all don't have to go and multiply for me. Just from these steps that I showed you and numbers, when you multiply by 5, you should get it out. So what is your answer? If you said 100, you are correct. Because all other numbers, it doesn't end with either 5 or 0. So that is why automatically you could have told me it was 100. So let's look at the items that I want you to have with you for the next lesson. You can either bring marbles, Lego blocks, shells, cups, or small plates. So these are some items I want you to work with for our next lesson. So you have to continue visiting learn.moe.gov.tt, where we cater for ECC primary and secondary school students, where we help students to connect and continue learning. See you in our next lesson.